Hey, Floyd, what was your reaction to the fight, man? What was your reaction to the fight, son?
Now, Lamont won. Who you thought won? Lamont. Man, you gotta just create more action. That's a sparring session as far as I'm concerned.
Floyd Mayweather, a boxing legend, shared his thoughts on the controversial outcome of the Gervonta versus Lamont Roach fight, leaving the boxing world in shock. Shakur Stevenson strongly disagreed with the draw, claiming Roach was the real winner. He criticized Davis for being too confident and not fully respecting Roach's skills. Stevenson believed Davis didn't take Roach seriously, which led to his struggles in the ring. Fans supported Stevenson's frustration with the result.
Now, Lamont won. Who you thought won? Lamont.
You thought Lamont won? By how many rounds?
I don't know.
You still want the Tank Davis fight?
So what?
You still want the Tank Davis fight? What went wrong? What went wrong? Take out a little steam or fire out of it, or is it still the same?
I mean, we're gonna see. I'm the best fighter in boxing. I've been saying this. So,
Shakur, what went wrong for Gervonta in this fight? Just because, could we say maybe because Lamont didn't come in? They really.
I think he got overconfident. I think he was thinking Lamont wasn't that good. I told everybody how the fight was gonna go. The fight went exactly how I said. Exactly.
After seeing this performance from Gervonta, do you believe your confidence has gone a little bit more up?
My confidence been up. I've been knew I was the best.
Shakur Stevenson tweeted about the fight, saying, "My tweet was spot on for those who don't know boxing." He claimed the match played out exactly as he had predicted. Fans agreed and called for a rematch. Boxer and media personality Jake Paul also expressed disappointment in Davis's performance, stating the fight lacked the expected intensity. He believed Davis should have been more aggressive, calling it more of a sparring session than a serious fight. He said it wasn't the Gervonta he was used to seeing.
Man, he got lucky at the draw. He did a good fight though. I thought he won it, but man, he gotta just create more action. That's a sparring session as far as I'm concerned.
Oh my God.
God damn, that's not the Gervonta I know.
Middleweight champion Demetrius Andrade also spoke up, praising Lamont Roach's impressive abilities. Andrade disagreed with the draw, stating that Roach had done enough to secure the win. Despite the controversial result, he acknowledged the high level of skill and competitiveness shown by both boxers.
The fight, Roach had something that we all wasn't expecting. He might have had power. His distance was good. He came in ready, prepared to fight, and he showcased that. And man, we had a good fight overall. It was a good IQ fight.
In all honesty, do you think Roach pulled it off?
I'm not going to say that. I don't think that the draw is good, you know. Other than that, it was a great fight. We'll love to see it again. It's me again, Caleb Plant, Chalo, Munguia, Edgar Berlanga. Where the fuck you motherfuckers at? Let's get this shit happen. You already know. Stop playing. Let's get these shits popping, man. Time is ticking. Tick, 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 tick.
I mean, 100%. What do you think about Berlanga's obviously opponent that he chose? I mean,
lightweight contender Isaac Cruz disagreed with the draw decision, highlighting a moment where Davis took a knee during the fight. Cruz argued that the judges and referee missed the opportunity to award Roach points for that moment, which could have changed the outcome. He believed this mistake led to the unfair draw.
Pues ahora sí que dieron una gran pelea. Ahora sí que me sorprendió la pelea que dio Lamont Roach y bueno, fue una gran pelea para todos los aficionados.
¿Tú crees que fue un empate?
No, yo creo que no. Creo que le quedaron a deber la caída a Lamont Roach, pero bueno, decisión de los jueces y del referee que no le hizo válida la caída, no le hizo el conteo.
¿Qué le fue mal en esta pelea para el Gervonta? ¿Qué fue lo que no hizo para que los jueces le den esta pelea? ¿Tú qué piensas?
Bueno, él nada más apostó a un solo round, a un solo golpe para poderlo noquear, y el cual Loma venía muy bien preparado, muy bien concentrado en el plan de trabajo. Bueno, creo que a Tank le faltó presionar, tirar más golpes para ser más contundente y que se viera más efectivo a la hora de la victoria.
¿Te gustaría ver una revancha entre ellos?
Pues estaría muy agradable. Ahora sí que la primera estuvo muy buena, yo creo que la segunda también.
Former world champion Danny Garcia called the fight an exciting one, showcasing both fighters' skills, reflecting on Davis's performance. Garcia acknowledged that not every night is a fighter's best. He suggested that Davis might have had an off night and emphasized that boxing is unpredictable, with challenges in consistently performing at the top level.
Danny, what's going on, my man? What do you think of the fight?
Stay with me,
Danny, what do you think of the fight, man? Are you surprised by the outcome? It was a close fight.
I'm surprised the way Lamont fought. I knew Lamont was going to come to fight. It was an opportunity of a lifetime. He did a good job. He fought a great fight.
What went wrong with Tank Davis? I mean, I
said what was wrong with him?
Out.
Every night in boxing is not your best. You feel me? But at least you got the
Would you
draw.
like to see a rematch of this or jump into a fight with Shakur Stevenson?
They don't whatever they want to do. You think it was a draw? I don't know. I thought it was a good fight.
Veteran commentator Jim Lampley shared his thoughts on the outcome, stating that draws are disappointing for both fans and fighters. He pointed out that many expected Davis to win by knockout, especially since Roach had moved up in weight. Lampley suggested that Davis's failure to knock out Roach might be seen as a setback, potentially affecting his standing in the lightweight division.
Bag for fans, for people in the sport, etc., etc. I thought it was, in essence, the right decision. The only question about whether the upset draw is justified is whether Steve Willis erred in not deducting a point in a late round when Tank Davis appeared to touch the canvas with his hand. And, you know, that is going to stay in the woodwork and haunt the fight in the breach a little bit. But at the end of the day, it's a setback in Tank's career and for his reputation. I think most observers expected him to knock Roach out, particularly because Roach was moving up from 130 to 135. Sometimes when a fighter moves up in weight, he gets stronger, and it looked as though maybe Roach did get stronger and had a greater ability to resist Tank's power than other opponents have had, because Tank did tag him with a lot of clean shots, and he wound up throwing more punches than he likes to throw to get that done. He tagged him both on the chin and to the belly, etc., and couldn't seem to hurt Roach. And that was another surprise in the overall picture of the fight.
Undefeated welterweight champion Terrence Crawford expressed shock on social media, stating his disbelief that the referee didn't count Davis's knee as a knockdown. Crawford tweeted that it was against boxing rules and something he had never seen before, questioning the officials for overlooking such a clear moment.
Left. Oh, and that right, but Davis took off some of the steam of the punch, but still, Roach leaned with that.
He took a knee.
He took a knee. What was he doing?
Former 3-division champion Abner Mares called for a rematch between Davis and Roach. He felt that Roach fought at his best, but many, including Davis, had underestimated him. Mares believed this underestimation affected the outcome, and a rematch would allow both fighters to adjust their strategies.
I thought Roach closed the last 2 rounds. And then if you think about it, that knockdown was a knockdown. He took a knee. They should have counted. And, you know, those 2 points, like Roach said, you know, it would have been on his favor and he would have won the fight. But, you know, I hope they run it back again, which I'm sure they will. And, you know, we get more of a clear, you know, victory for either side.
How much of tonight was Lamont Roach being Lamont Roach, and how much of it was Gervonta Davis maybe not being
right
at his best?
It was more, yeah, well said. I think it was more of Lamont being Lamont. A lot of people were not expecting that. He was catching the punches really well, took them well, great combinations, and just stood in the pocket and fought him right in the center of the ring. Even Tank was not expecting that, and I think that threw him off. And you know, great great performance by Lamont Roach, and Tank Davis. He's got to fight more. He's not as consistent with the fighting, and you know, again, the timing probably wasn't there for him. Just like
what does it say about Tank, man? Some people had him as high as, you know, top 5, top 10 pound.
You know what that's gonna say about Tank now? Obviously, people are gonna talk shit, and people are gonna, you know, put him, you know, probably take him down on the pound for pound list, and you know, it is what it is. But so that's why Tank has to come back and really get that rematch and really make a statement, if it's with him or whoever else.
And lastly, I don't, you know, people wanted to know who's the best lightweight. Is it Keyshawn, Shakur, Tank? Do you think he can still beat those guys, or did Lamont show some things tonight that those guys are just?
Oh, Lamont's definitely there. Lamont can fight any of these guys.
Yeah.
A boxer from Washington, D.C., expressed concern about the potential impact of the controversial decision on Gervonta Davis's young fan base. He worried that they might react negatively, possibly causing unrest. The increasing tension surrounding the event highlighted the need for careful handling of fan reactions in high-pressure situations.
My reaction for this Tank versus Roach fight, I'm really disappointed, to be honest. Like, it's leaving a bad taste in my mouth, and the reason why is they leaving a negative energy out there. And a lot of y'all might not understand because y'all don't come from underserved environments or was never incarcerated or things like that. I'm from DC, and I know how we get active. I know people from Baltimore, and I know how they get active. When we talk about rivalries are cool. When I'm talking Commanders, Cowboys, stuff like that, that's friendly and cool. We talk our trash, but when we talking about when it's negative and we know that Tank have a young following and things like that, and I'm seeing certain people at these press conferences, violent individuals, and things can really turn out bad. So yeah, I understand they selling the fight and things like that, but certain things, it can get real bad. And I don't want to see nobody lose their life. Let this be a healthy rivalry. Y'all go in there, best man win, and fight over. It should be all love. We got to be careful of the messaging that we putting out. It's Mr. We Fit.
In his post-fight interview, Gervonta praised Lamont Roach for being a tough opponent and stated that the match was good. For boxing, he acknowledged that fans expect knockouts from him, but he understood that a draw wasn't the result he wanted. Davis's comments reflected his awareness of the high expectations placed on him, while also recognizing Roach's abilities.
Good night for the sport. Didn't get what the decision I want, but we didn't get a loss either, so I felt like I won it, the last couple rounds, so it's cool. Lamont is a great fighter. Hopefully I can get that rematch because I know what I can do in a fight, but it's cool.
Okay, questions?
Okay. Tank, it's KG with Fight Hype. I wanted to ask Tank, when the decision was read, the way that you reacted, it looked like you was upset. You slammed your gloves on the canvas. What was going through your mind when you heard the decision?
I didn't slam my glove on the canvas.
Okay, maybe I mistook from my vantage point, so that's my mistake. But what was going through your mind when you heard the decision?
Nobody like a draw, from a guy that did knockouts and things like that, but it's cool. I feel like if we fight again, I could do more, and I should have did more. I was lost in I lost track in the rounds. That's why we need what is it called? Yeah, man. I didn't know what round it was.
Calvin Ford, Davis's trainer, reiterated his thoughts on Lamont Roach, saying that he always knew Roach had talent. Ford acknowledged the challenge Roach presented, showing that Team Davis was aware of the difficult fight ahead.
Good night for the sport. Didn't get what the decision I want, but we didn't get a loss either, so I felt like I won it, the last couple rounds, so it's cool. Lamont is a great fighter. Hopefully I can get that rematch because I know what I can do in a fight, but it's cool.
Okay, questions?
Okay. Tank, it's KG with Fight Hype. I wanted to ask Tank, when the decision was read, the way that you reacted, it looked like you was upset. You slammed your gloves on the canvas. What was going through your mind when you heard the decision?
I didn't slam my glove on the canvas.
Okay, maybe I mistook from my vantage point, so that's my mistake. But what was going through your mind when you heard the decision?
Nobody like a draw, from a guy that did knockouts and things like that, but it's cool. I feel like if we fight again, I could do more, and I should have did more. I was lost in I lost track in the rounds. That's why we need what is it called? Yeah, man.
Roach's performance received high praise, with many believing he was the first fighter to truly challenge Davis. Fans are now calling for a rematch, feeling that Roach deserves another opportunity to prove himself.
Lamont Roach definitely earned my respect tonight. Definitely one of the first fighters to put Tank to the test. It's matching fire with fire. That was a good fight. For me, I need to see a rematch ASAP. But yeah, Tank definitely took the knee 100%. I see Roach winning that 7-5 personally. But boxing is business, so they were never going to let him have that win. Roach's timing was on point though. No easy knockouts tonight. The sharp counters, very good fighter, very good fighter. Let me know what you guys think, if that robbery was fair or not. Leave it in the comments.
Many fans and analysts argue that Roach was robbed. pointing out the moment when Davis took a knee but wasn't given a knockdown. This controversy has sparked calls for a rematch, with many believing Roach should have been given credit for that moment.
Lamont Roach just got cheated. And Lamont Roach's fight versus Tank Davis just ended in a draw. And based on what I just seen, he was winning the fight. But you know what makes it worse? What makes it worse is Tank Davis took a knee. When you take a knee in boxing, that's supposed to be an automatic knockdown. They literally let Tank Davis take a knee. The referee wanted to count. He chose not to count. He went to the corner, wiped off his hair, wiped off his eye, and then kept fighting. And to me, that makes no sense. How are you able to do that and not be a knockdown? Yo, boxing is crazy, bro. This stuff is wild. And you know what makes it even wilder? His excuse said, I just got my hair done and my hair was in my eye. Bruh, cut your hair. This is boxing, man. Y'all dudes be trying to look too pretty. But with all that being said, it was a great fight. I just hate the ending. Give that man Lamont Roach the knockdown so he could go ahead and win.
For the first time in his career, Davis didn't win by knockout, leaving some fans disappointed and even booing him after the fight. This reaction showed just how high the expectations were for him.
Oh my god, Gervonta just lost his perfect record. His fight with Lamont Roach was scored as a majority draw. Roach threw more punches and landed more punches on Gervonta. Just look at the numbers. And was this a knockdown? Roach after the fight wasn't satisfied and he said if that was scored as a knockdown, he would have won the fight tonight. Gervonta after the fight said that some grease from his hair just got in his eyes and he couldn't see well. Crowd started booing Tank, his own crowd. We all know boxing fans. They love you one day, they hate you one day. That's exactly what Tank said. But what do you think really happened? Was that because Lamont is really that guy? Or is it because Tank really needs to take time to himself, retire, go back to school as he mentioned? I don't know. But you go ahead and comment. Let's talk about it.
Davis's coach defended his fighter, but also credited Roach for his effort. He stated that neither fighter clearly won the fight and that Roach deserved respect for his performance.
Well, both of us back today was at it again. Nobody won. Nobody won. He can sit there and say, I didn't get knocked out. That's the only thing that's good to say. I didn't get knocked out. Maybe that was his championship because he did. You know what I'm saying? He fought a brilliant fight. So it goes off to him. You know what I'm saying? You know, Tank was talking about retirement stuff. That might change that. We don't know. We have to wait and see.
MMA journalist Ariel Helwani speculated that this could be one of Davis's final fights, as Davis has hinted at retiring soon. Helwani believes that the disappointing result might push Davis to leave boxing earlier than expected.
The great Gervonta Tank Davis. He's returning to defend his WBA lightweight title against Lamont Roach, who is moving up from super featherweight. Tank Davis is these days kind of averaging one fight a year, which is a shame. He wants to have 3 more fights and then retire by the end of 2025. Does he get 3 fights this year? Does he actually retire by the end of the year? Who knows? But this may be one of the last times we see him, at least for now. So catch him while you can. One of the most exciting, one of the most hard-hitting fighters in the sport, and we suspect once again that he wins, and I suspect that he wins via stoppage once again. He is one of the hardest-hitting guys in the history of the sport, and we suspect that if he gets by Roach, there could be some big fights on the horizon this year. We don't know, but he's got to get by Lamont Roach first. That test goes down this Saturday in Brooklyn.
Some of Davis's supporters admitted that Roach had fought well and handled Davis's power better than expected. This shift in support was one of the biggest surprises of the fight. Jalen Love mentioned that Lamont Roach outboxed Gervonta Davis and deserved to be declared the winner.
Hey man, what'd you think? The crowd didn't seem to like the draw. Did you think that was the right call?
Nah, man, I ain't gonna lie. I love Gervonta. Obviously, we come from a lot of the same shit. But I love boxing, and I seen Lamont Roach outclass Gervonta Davis tonight.
Yeah.
And I ain't against Gervonta. I'm just a boxer. If you ask me, I'm gonna keep it real.
Yeah.
I thought Lamont did enough to receive the victory.
Yeah.
Obviously, it didn't go his way. It was a good fight. The boxing fans won.
What you say about the knockdown?
I think if anytime you take a knee or touch the canvas, blood to,
and it's through to a bunt punch, or even if you hurt and you go down, that's a knockdown. That's what I know from the rules of boxing since it started. You touch the canvas, it was not counted. He put a halt to the fight to go get his face wiped. These are all penalties, points, all different shit. So, you know, from the game that I know if I was in that bitch, there would have been a knockdown. But it is what it is. Can't let the cash cow go. He's coming out these arenas, you're supposed to do that.
Yeah, man, D. So, I mean, he was better against Frank Martin. It looked like he was flat tonight.
Styles make fights.
Yeah.
Styles make fights.
Yeah.
And Lamont Roach is a stellar fucking fighter. If you know Lamont Roach, know his father, know his brother, know they come from a great pedigree of boxing, and you've seen that tonight.
That wraps up today's video. Stay tuned for the next one.